reaching out directly to players as an owner is point blank, end of story, unacceptable. You can't do it. You can't.
Well, as someone that's a stickler for rules, why do you turn a blind eye to this one?
Bring it on.
I heard this on Carmen and Yurko yesterday, and I found myself agreeing with Carmen. And initially, I didn't look at this as a big deal. I just thought it was a whatever weekend story. Tom Brady got a Caleb Williams card and FaceTimed Caleb Williams to talk about it.
A trading card.
Right. And FaceTimed Caleb Williams to talk about it. And he's like, hey, you're going to have a good season. He's needling him, making fun of him, make this worth something, whatever. Carmen brought up the point that this is an active owner directly communicating with a player and then needling him about having a good season. And what would that look like if it were George McCaskey FaceTiming Jaden Daniels or anybody else? What would the reaction be?
Oh, my God. They have a relationship that started being cultivated during the draft process when they had the NFL seminar to introduce the rookies to being a professional, and they specifically sat Caleb Williams with Tom Brady because they wanted to develop a relationship that he could try and emulate the greatest player in the history of the sport at that position. So he bought a pack of cards, or he was at a card show.
Yes.
He opened a pack, goes, oh, look what I got. I got a Caleb Williams. And he FaceTimed him. Hey, brother, look what I got. I got your card. They had a brief conversation. Would you guys stop overreacting? My God, what was the game, Hoodie? Tom Brady's calling the game, and Ben Johnson's going to be on the field. The
Lions Commanders playoff game, I believe.
The Raiders are going to have this huge advantage. Yeah, how'd that work out?
Cap, I think that, again, with perspective, it's not Tom Brady who I think many have fallen in love with as a quarterback. It's Tom Brady as a part owner. This whole thing of this Brady privilege is nonsense. If it's other owners that's doing this is a problem. Just because you love Tom Brady, and many do, doesn't mean that you turn a blind eye to stuff that other owners can't do. He is part of ownership. And as someone who's a stickler for rules, you should be a stickler for this. You don't turn a blind eye just because Brady was great at the position as a quarterback. In this position, he's not allowed to do these things. If it's another president of football or an owner of that runs a team, that person could not have contact with current players.
They wouldn't have a relationship because the Bears wanted them sitting together. The NFL has kind of cultivated that relationship by putting them together, and they have a friendship. He called them and said, oh, I got your card, brother. Have a great season. Make this valuable.
You're only doing that because it's Brady. It's not right, Kev.
Yeah, exactly, because he's a football player. But George McCaskey is just a guy in a pickup truck.
Yeah, but Cap, for me, if the NFL wants to put them in a room together for a seminar and the NFL has set it up and the Bears have set it up and it's an arranged thing and people know what's going on, whatever. I can't fight City Hall on that. But reaching out directly to players as an owner is point blank, end of story, unacceptable. You can't do it. Oh, God. You can't.
Well, as someone that's a stickler for rules, why do you turn a blind eye to this one? He's just like all the other owners. Because he cannot have a conversation with current players because that's called tampering in this country. So you can't be doing that.
You want to needle him about the card you pulled? Call his agent.
That's so stupid.
I'm sorry, man. No, that's how I feel. He's an owner. This isn't Tom Brady, the quarterback. This isn't Tom Brady, the personality. It's Tom Brady, the owner.
They have a friendship. I have no problem with it.
It doesn't matter. You have to conduct yourself as an owner with a certain level of professionalism, and he doesn't.
Well, unless he gets disciplined, I guess you're wrong.
Any other owner would. That's my problem. And it's the conversation we're having. It's a double standard that exists because this guy is Tom Brady. Any other owner does. If Stephen Ross does this, the Dolphins get investigated for tampering all the time. If Stephen Ross does this, it's a massive story.
Tommy,
it's a problem.
Tommy, I hear you laughing there. And here's the thing. It's all this is Brady privilege because it's Tom Brady. He's one of the shining stars of this league. And because now it's Tom Brady, he can do whatever he wants.
Really? Does anybody say a word when Magic reaches out to guys because he has a relationship? Oh, he happens to own a football and a basketball team. And no one says a word. Not a freaking word.
Wow.
Come on, this is just some of the dumbest conversation that we're wasting our breath on.
The visual of George just an owner in a pickup truck's what got me first.
It is.
Come on,
That's what
like
he
listen,
is.
Cap. Regardless if it's Magic Johnson or it's Tom Brady, it is a double standard. Just acknowledge it.
I'm
It
not
is a
saying
double
they're-
standard.
Maybe,
That's
but
reality.
But the fact that on FaceTime, where you heard the whole conversation, hey, brother, I got your card. They have a friendship. Big freaking deal.
I get that. And I don't think that Shea or Hoodie or Jay Moore, anyone is asking the league to fine Tom Brady $50 million. It is kind of a side chuckle, though, isn't it, that Tom Brady's allowed to do things that other owners aren't allowed to do?
Because
and by the
they
way,
didn't
you talk about
play.
being sticklers. If your socks fall down in the NFL, there's someone on the sideline. Here in Chicago, it's Jim Thornton and Jim Morsey. They write you up, and eventually they fine you for
I
your
thought
socks
it was Brian
being
Bashnagel here. Or maybe it used to
no,
be.
no. So, like, look, if you want to talk about the being a stickler for rules, the league does it. League does it in other situations, but here, because you're right, it is Tom Brady. I mean, look, I don't think it matters, but it is a double standard. Truly, a double standard.
Of course it is. And again, this is the National Football says the National Football League is saying this is one of our shining stars. And for Tom Brady, we're going to move heaven and earth, Tommy. We're going to let him broadcast.
Yes.
We'll let him talk to other players. And again, this is something that is not commonplace in the NFL.
Nope.
But because it's Brady, there is a privilege there because Brady was great for the league for 20 years.
Well, and
that's
I get
why.
it. And Cap likes him. I mean, if a living Billy Packer had bought the Raiders and was doing the same thing, you would feel differently because you didn't like Billy Packer.
Because he was a Jag.
Right.
But because Tom looks good.
Rest in peace, but you were a Jag.
Yes, because Tom looks good, and because that he was a winner on the field, and he's got two women at his disposal.
If this was Packer
It's fine.
related to Cap, you know your ass would be chapped. I mean, that's the reality.
You mean
of it
Green Bay Packer or Billy?
Billy
all.
Packer.
No, the Green Bay Packers.
Green Bay Packers.
Yes. Yeah.
No, if Tom Brady had played for the Packers, it would not bother me if he called and said, hey, brother, I got your card. Make it valuable for me. Have a good
on.
day. You guys are ridiculous.
You
No,
can't look
it's-
yourself in the mirror right now and actually believe what you're saying.
No,
I
it is.
do.
It's just he can because it's Tom Brady. I mean, I thought you wanted to lay down with Aaron Rodgers. Clearly, Brady is the second choice. You want to procreate with Aaron. We know that. But apparently, Brady's
Wow.
right there.
That escalated quickly.
That did.
It's true. I want him. Bam! I mean, come on, man.
Cap's working on no sleep. He went to the Sox game, then went home and watched the Cubs game.
We
He's
both
got, like,
are.
40 minutes under his belt.
That's right. That's us. We both are. We're both on E.
By the way, just for posterity's sake, Magic Johnson was fined $500,000 for violating the NBA's anti-tampering rule when talking about players that he liked and speaking with them, and he said that's on me. Brady should at least get fined for this. It can't happen.
So I want you to ease up on Irvin. That's enough of that.
Whatever.
Leave Irvin alone. He owns a Starbucks on 71st and Stony. Leave him alone.
Brother, more than that.
Well, that's
A
one of the-
lot more.
Well, that's one of the things that I invest in.
Okay.
His Starbucks. How about that? How about that?
Can you ask him to lower the prices a touch?
Is Irvin third on your list? All right. Coming up. Well, apparently not. Coming up, we will hear from Tom Waddle. It's a Waddle Wednesday after all. Who knows what's going to be next on Kap and J Hood?